All right, good afternoon, everyone. Unless you're in a time zone where it's not afternoon, and then we're going to say good morning. Welcome to today's webinar. You found a mentor, you signed the MPA, and won the contract. What's next? I am Rico, as in, oh my goodness, that last name looks like somebody's losing hand in Scrabble. I'm the strategic communications lead for MoveAmerica, which is a fancy way of saying I'm the guy who makes sure people know about all the amazing things we do and occasionally host webinars 2 days before Thanksgiving when the rest of America is panic buying cranberry sauce. Kind of think of me as the Nick Fury of this operation. I assemble the team, I make sure everyone knows what's happening, and occasionally I show up on screen to deliver important information. Sadly, I do not have an eye patch or a helicarrier, probably because of budget cuts. But much like the Avengers, we've assembled an incredible group of people today to help you protect something important. In our case, it's not the planet, it's your business and your path to success in the defense industrial base. So you are welcome. All right, so before we get started, we're going to go through a few quick housekeeping items. First of all, I want to say that your cameras and your microphones are off for this webinar. I know you wanted to show off your festive holiday sweater. I see you, it's lovely, but let's keep the bandwidth clear. Second, if you have questions during the presentation, please post them into the Q&A panel. There is a button up top that says Q&A. Use that. You are going to absolutely love using the Q&A panel. So go ahead and do that. We'll have a dedicated Q&A session at the end, and we'll get to as many as we can. Third, I want you to take a quick look at how your name is displaying. If it says iPhone or dad's laptop or your company name -PC-7, now's a great time to fix that. We want to know who you are, not what device you borrowed from your IT department. And finally, an important legal note. We are headquartered in Maryland, which is a two-party consent state, and that means by joining this webinar, you are consenting to being recorded. Now that means no camera and no microphones, so if you were planning to say something embarrassing, maybe save that for Thanksgiving dinner with your in-laws like the rest of us. But if you don't consent to being part of a recorded webinar where we're basically talking at you for an hour, go ahead and leave. We promise we'll send you the link to the recording and we won't go all Taylor Swift on you and write a song about you leaving us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you for sticking around. We're so glad to have you. So now I'm going to have the pleasure of introducing today's presenter. Folks, you are in for a treat. Athena Powell is the program manager for the Mentor-Protégé program intermediary at MoveAmerica. More than 25 years of experience that spans STEM education, government contracting, the intelligence community, DoD, cyber intel, weapons and space programs, and the defense industrial base. She holds a BS in mass communication, a master's in management information systems, and an MPBA in management, public policy, and business administration. She's a Lean Six Sigma green belt, which means she could kick all our butts. And she's a certified project management professional. Honestly, her resume makes the rest of us look like we've been wandering around with a clipboard pretending to be busy. So if you're in the Mentor-Protégé program and wondering what comes next after you've signed that MPA and won your contract, there literally is no one better to walk you through it. Athena, the spotlight is yours.
Thank you so much, Rick, for that introduction. Again, as Rick indicated, my name is Athena Powell, and I am so glad to share with you what comes next after you've gone through the process of back and forth as a mentor, as a protege, us as the PMs, as well as all the other contracts folks who are a part of the process, DCMA, and all the great others who are part of the process. You've, again, gone through all of that rigorous process to get the MPA signed, the contract executed, and now it's time for a kickoff. So the next steps that we take are the government, or I should say also the service, because sometimes it's the agency and sometimes it's the services. So the government services or agency, PM, works collaboratively with the MoveAmerica PM. We then get together, coordinate, and plan out what the kickoff will look like for this new mentor-protege partnership. By doing that, we gather all of the stakeholders. So that means that OSBP at the DoD level will be invited to the kickoff. DCMA, who's a very important part of the mentor-protege agreement and contract, the mentor and the protege, and our MoveAmerica team, which includes our PMs and our contracts team. Once we have kind of coordinated what and when and where the meeting will be held, we then start to send out requests for briefings that will be a part of the kickoff meeting. Next slide. Yep. So then the government PM and the MoveAmerica PM will get to work together again to put together the agenda for that particular for this particular agreement, mentor and protege. So typically the outline of what that kickoff meeting entails is the government or service PM will do a roundtable introduction of everyone who is on the call, because sometimes we have additional members on those calls, whereas it's not necessarily just the mentor or the protege or someone in MoveAmerica that's the POC PM, but there's others who also may join the call to celebrate and to try to understand what happens now throughout the rest of the process of the agreement. So we do a roundtable of introductions. The next part of the meeting will have OSBP come in and do a welcome and a congratulations, because it is a congratulatory event. We've made it to this finish line and we have so much more to go, but it is definitely an event that we need to celebrate to get a contract executed for the MPP program. So they will come in and do a welcome and a congratulations to the mentor and to the protege, and sometimes pat us on the back too, the PMs and the government PMs, on getting everything lined up into this point. Next, you will have the service or agency PM to give a background of the agency or the service and that particular program office and what they do, the vision and mission of that particular area, and what their expectations are. And that briefing will then transcend into the MoveAmerica PM, which I happen to be one. And so I then give a background and our expectations on the MoveAmerica side with regards to what we're looking for throughout the duration of the agreement. Last, I turn it over to DCMA and their rep, which we have reps assigned to each service and agency. So that particular rep will also give pretty much the same thing, background on DCMA requirements and their expectations. And last but not least, the mentor and protege get an opportunity to give an overview and background about their companies and what they're looking to achieve with this particular agreement or project. And then we move to Q&A and any closing remarks. And that is typically the whole outline of how the kickoff meeting goes. So next slide. So after, I'm going to jump into where I come in at. So after the roundtable introductions and after OSBP gives you a congratulations and a welcome, and after the government service or agency PM provides you an overview and summary of what the agreement is for their particular program office, then it's my turn. And so if you are new here, I actually go into a briefing that talks about who we are, which is MoveAmerica. And I just go into the part where we are a 501(c) nonprofit organization initiated in 2019, and we are a seasoned professional staff with various expertise across emerging technologies and the IC and DoD and commercial spaces and products. We also work together as a partner and a stakeholder across different government entities, local, state, and federal, as well as industry, as well as academia. Our mission is simple. It's to strengthen the American industrial base and also the supply chain, and to create more economic competitiveness across that by building our mentors and proteges as subcontractors. Next slide. Oh, no, you can stay right there, Meg. You can stay right there. So that is who MoveAmerica is, but we also, and that's also our mission, but we also operate in 4 lines of efforts. One being research and development, consortium development and management, business intelligence and assessments, as well as the industrial development and management, which is where a lot of our MPP experience comes in at. Next slide. So that's us as MoveAmerica as the 501(c)(3) nonprofit. However, for the sake of the MPP, we operate in what we call MPPI as an intermediary and kind of conduit between the mentor-protégé as well as the service and agency government entities. And we help do a couple of different things in that realm, which is we serve as the management core. So we help facilitate how the contracts are assigned, the whole process that the mentor and protege go through, lock in step with the government PM, but we help, the experience become less tedious, very streamlined, and welcoming. We also do this with keeping in mind a few objectives, which is we want to improve the mentor and protege participation. We want to enhance the program as well through our intermediary by capturing metrics and, best practices. And then also we want to manage the best that we can, the mentor and protege's relationship, even after the agreement is done. Next slide. So the next part of my briefing that I typically go through is I talked about the expectations that MoveAmerica has with regards to the MPP program. One of which we talk about staying on schedule and on task. When you submit for the MPP program, you submit milestones and you submit how you plan to achieve all the different tasks that are involved in the agreement. Well, we expect you to stay on task, and we speak about that as one of our expectations. We also ask that you keep most of the MoveAmerica PM mostly keep informed me, the MoveAmerica PM, as well as my counterpart, the government PM, abreast of all things that happen within any challenges, any obstacles that you may come up against, or even successes. So we also ask that you modify your plan if things are not going as expected. And we talk you through those things as well. Also, during my briefing, I may talk about not being afraid to ask questions. You don't have to set up a whole entire meeting with everybody. You can call, you can just reach out anytime during the program. It does not have to be a formal meeting all the time. And then we also just ask that you operate with an understanding that you're doing this for the protege. You're doing this to better the protege. And we all will work together for that very purpose, the mentor, the government and service PM, as well as myself or any of the other PMs that are a part of MoveAmerica. Next slide. So those are some of the expectations for MoveAmerica. Now we have some of the reporting requirements for MoveAmerica. Some of the reporting requirements for the MPP program are that you submit a monthly status report. I talk about this in the kickoff meeting. Inside that monthly status report, you are going to talk about the tasks that were completed that month. You're going to talk about any challenges, any issues. You're going to talk about the fact that you may have won a new award, or you've actually gained additional employees. You will include all things that have transpired through that whole month for that monthly status report. You also will be required for our reporting requirements to provide QPMRs. Those are quarterly program management reviews that are done with the service and agency PM. You can go down to the next slide for me. Yep. So the QPMRs are also a requirement throughout the duration of the program. So you have your monthly status report, you have your QPMRs, and then you also have our invoice requirements. Our invoice requirements are that we need you to submit with your MSRs by the 10th of every month, all your invoices for that month. Those invoices will go to our accounts payable. They will also go to the government service PM. They will also go to your DCMA representative, and they will also come to myself, the MoveAmerica PM. I also talk about during the kickoff the processing for those particular invoices. And the invoices have to be in by the 10th. They get submitted through our WAF system by the 15th, and they are paid out 30 days after the approvals. So not 30 days from when you submit it, but 30 days after the invoice gets approved and submitted through the WAF system. Next slide. Some other MoveAmerica expectations that we have are that our mentor and protege utilize the Project Spectrum CMMC, let me get it out, CMMC certification tool for the program. For various reasons. One, it's free. It gives you estimated savings of 2 to 3K on the training and accessibility. So we highly encourage our mentor and proteges to participate in our Project Spectrum program. Also, it provides and tracks, your cyber readiness, and it's to help you get ready for operating in the DoD space. We also talk about a little bit more, how you access Project Spectrum, which you register, and there's a cyber advisor who walks you through all of the requirements that are needed to be a part of that program. And again, it's a free program to them. MoveAmerica, as well as the DoD service or agency components, will let you know and tell you that as a part of your agreement, this service is free, and that if you have that as a part of your MPP agreement plan, that it would not be approved because we do have this free service. Next slide. So for the next part of the kickoff meeting, we allow DCMA to come in and give their overview and briefing. They talk about the regulations that they follow with regards to the MPP program. And those are the 3 that you can see listed. They also talk about their reporting requirements. They have what you call the semi-annual report, which is the SAR. They talk about the annual performance review, and they talk about the post Protégé Agreement Report. Next slide. So in their overview, they'll talk about the reporting expectations, and they will let you know that they conduct courtesy reviews prior to you turning in your SARs or any of the other reports. They give you, some tips and trips to and helpful hints on the reporting guidelines in case you're missing the mark. They also work as the conduit to OSBP to let them know also when the SAR has been approved. So lots of help from DCMMA to make sure that your reporting is done within the guidelines of their expectations. A few things that they look for within their review are the expenditures, making sure all these things line up properly, the schedule, the development assistance, and the return on investment. And they give a comprehensive list of all of the things that they require when you have to provide the SAR and the other reporting elements. And lastly, they also talk about contract closeout, 5 years of the Protégé requirements after the MPA agreement is closed. So they talk about those things as well in their overview. Next slide. The next part of the kickoff meeting, which is the larger half of the kickoff meeting, to be honest, belongs to the mentor and protege. The mentor and protege, they give a little bit of background about their companies. They then talk about the agreement that they are entering together as a partnership, and what we are to expect from them as they provide for the agency or service. Next slide. Go one more slide down, and then I'm gonna let Rick jump on that. One more down. There we go. And then the last part, we do, we take an opportunity to ask any questions through from hearing everyone's briefing and hearing what all the requirements are to be a part of this program and all of the expectations. So we allow everyone to kind of ask questions with regards to all of the briefings that were put forth. And then we close out the kickoff meeting. One important part of the kickoff meeting that is in the itinerary or the agenda, we could have shown you probably a sample agenda, but we didn't put one together. But I will say, not agenda, but one of the key things is the contact list. So we pulled together a comprehensive contact list that we provide within our brief, within the kickoff brief, that has all of the representatives from the service and agency. That might mean the PM, the contracting office, the program office, POCs, as well as all our MoveAmerica POCs with regards to whoever the PM is, the contracting office, the contracting team, as well as any other leads or supervisory and financial team members. And then also all of the mentor and protege individuals who are part of this MPP project. We list majority of those POCs out as well. And having that key contact list has saved a lot of hours because folks don't have to go searching around off of email distros to find people. So that is one of the key, if I would to say what was one of the most important in a kickoff briefing, is that contact list. And that is pretty much how the kickoff meeting goes once you've signed your contract and it's been executed. We could go back, Meg, to view some of the Project Spectrum pieces. And Rick, if you wanted to hop in and give some of that background.
And turn my camera back on.
I figured
Thank you, Athena. Athena, thank you. Again, absolutely fantastic information. As always, I'm always marveled by the members of the Move America team and just how great they are at talking about what it is that we do. So just want to say, take a few minutes to talk about Project Spectrum. I work very closely with the Project Spectrum outreach team. I host their webinars for them. And let me just tell you, this is an absolutely fantastic platform. If you're in the defense industrial base, or you want to be in the defense industrial base, or you just want to stay in business, cybersecurity is not optional. It really is the price of admission. So you see, Project Spectrum was initiated by the DoD Office of Small Business Programs to provide small and mid-level companies with cybersecurity information, resources, tools, and training, everything they're going to need to stay compliant and competitive. Think of Project Spectrum kind of as your Iron Man suit for your business or organization. You might not have Tony Stark's budget, but we can still help you build some serious armor around your data. But I will warn you, Jarvis is not included, but they do have some one-on-one cyber advisory services, which is kind of pretty close to Jarvis. Or I guess Friday was the one who took over for Jarvis, but I'm not going to get into Avengers trivia just yet. Here are some of the things that you get. What you're going to go ahead and go to the next slide, Meg. You are going to find some free tools and templates. You've got security system plan templates, plans of actions and milestones, or POAMs, not poems, because that would be things that rhyme, remediation plan templates, and a self-assessment toolkit. Then you get those one-on-one cyber advisory services. These are actual humans who help you navigate this stuff. A cyber readiness dashboard that's going to help you track your progress, and a SPUR score generation and upload guide. Yeah, you're going to be able to get that score and then upload it into the supplier performance risk system. And then, of course, Project Spectrum also offers training, education, blogs, news, briefings, all of the stuff you need to keep you current on what's going on in the cybersecurity landscape. As Athena mentioned earlier, MPP participants have that minimum 10-hour requirement in addition to your MPA activities. But here's the thing. As she said, the estimated value of what you're getting, thousands of dollars in training savings, many more thousands of dollars in access to cybersecurity analysts and customized plans. So you have to look at it this way. It's not homework. It's basically a vibranium shield for your cyber posture. And unlike Captain America, you don't have to be a super soldier to use it. I know. You thought I was done with Avengers jokes. Not even close. All you have to do, if you have not registered already, it is free to register. ProjectSpectrum.io is the website. Register there. You've got plenty of tools, resources, training materials, all that kind of stuff. They even have webinars, and that's where you get to see me go into action, usually twice a month. So hopefully you're going to join us over at Project Spectrum. I am really excited if you do. Is this where we go to Q&A? Are we ready for Q&A now?
Absolutely.
So we don't have any questions that have come in yet. So
okay.
Yeah,
we're going to make sure, we want to make sure you know where to put those questions. So up top of your webinar, you've got the Q&A panel. Go ahead and open that up and type in those questions, get them in there, because this is the part where you get to ask questions. Normally, if it was me, I would just pretend I know all the answers, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm thrilled to hand things over to Athena, and she's going to be led by Meg, our strategic communications specialist here at MoveAmerica. Got to talk about Meg for a second. Been with us almost a year and a half. In that time, she's become absolutely indispensable. She's our social media guru, our webinar wizard, and honestly, the reason these things run as smoothly as they do. Now, if you've seen a Move America post on LinkedIn that made you stop scrolling, I got to tell you, that was Meg. If you registered for this webinar without a single technical hiccup, that was Meg. If the Q&A session goes off without a hitch, that's also Meg. Basically, if something works around here, there's a
It's
very good
Meg.
chance that Meg is behind it.
I
She's
agree.
the and she's also the person who keeps me from going off on too many tangents. So if the webinar stays on schedule, you can definitely thank her for that too. Meg, I'm going to go to you. The floor is yours. Now I know we had some I know we had some questions ahead of time, but I'm going to let you go ahead and take over. And again, folks, go ahead and put those in the Q&A panel now.
Yeah, so one question that we can start off with is, Athena, for the mentors and proteges, is it just leadership that attends the kickoff meeting, or are more members, is everyone included?
Good question. So if you are asking for as far as OSBP or the service and agency, do you know?
Either. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
either. Okay.
Either,
So
yeah.
no problem. So most of the time it's leadership from OSBP who actually comes in and does the welcoming you to the MPP program and congratulating you for your new agreement and contract. As far as the service or agency, it's usually just the PMs who participate, and maybe a few others who may be a part of the handling of some of the requirements, who may also be a part of the kickoff meeting. But that's pretty much it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
So our next question, thank you for this presentation. It has been very valuable. My question, how long does it take before one is granted a mentor from start to finish?
That is an interesting question. So it just depends on the mentor and the protege. And repeat that question one more time for me, Meg.
Oh, sure. How long does it take before one is granted a mentor from start to finish?
So that really wouldn't be really an answer for us, but I could give you a roundabout. Some of the mentors and proteges actually work together prior to becoming a part of the program. And it's actually something that's encouraged, is that if you know of a smaller company, or if you know of a bigger company that would, definitely be a great mentor, and you're a protege, then, you may want to put yourselves forward as a mentor and protege pair, to go after being part of the program, and vice versa. As a mentor, if you already work with a small contracting company that would serve as a good protege, and you could grow them into the DoD space, through the agreement, then that's another way in which you can pair together and become mentor and protege partners for the agreement. That time frame really depends on the mentor and protege, because we don't grant a mentor. It's, you get approved to become a mentor as a part of the program, and you find, your partner to pursue the agreement with. And, as we, also go after specific agencies and services where these agreements land.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We had another question that just came through asking, please explain the additional 10-hour requirement.
Rick, you want that one?
Who, me? So I thought the 10-hour requirement, isn't it 10 hours of cybersecurity training or something like
It
that?
is. Yes.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah, no, I would just say I'll let you go into why it's required, and then if you want, I can go into like how that 10 hours could be spent with Project Spectrum.
So why it's required? It's just a part of the DoD putting that forth as one of the requirements with regards to utilizing Project Spectrum. I don't know of any other real reason why, but it's just part of the program.
Because
requirement.
what DoD wants, DoD gets.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to remember it's
That's
their
it.
supply chain.
Yeah.
It's their supply chain, it's their program. They are masters of the universe. And so really, when it comes to Project Spectrum, I mean, when you're talking about 10 hours on Project Spectrum, how could that time be spent? My goodness. Again, you've got those webinars that are held twice a month. They have cyber circuits and they have just their regular training webinars. Those are an hour each. You've got training courses on there that can run anywhere from a few minutes to quite a few more minutes. And so, you take enough of those training courses where they're talking about all the different CMMC requirements and all the different families and all the different, things that you need to do. And all of that is there. You've got the explainer videos that they have. And I mean, there are just a ton of things that you could be doing on there. So I will tell you now, as somebody who has talked a lot about Project Spectrum in the past, it's literally those 10 hours can fly by like nobody's business, and you could use those up very quickly. So very easy for you to go on projectspectrum.io, sign up, go in there and see everything that's available. Because once you sign up, once you register, once you get in there, you could see all of the different tools, training, and resources that are available. Everything gets tracked on your dashboard, and you're going to be able to prove that 10 hours before you know it. It's going to go like that.
Great answer. Thank you both. Let's see here. Okay, so keep submitting your questions.
Yep.
This is actually one for me for Athena. Athena, if you could give a recommendation to someone or to a mentor and a protege, and this is their first kickoff, what would you recommend, or how would you recommend that they prep beforehand?
I probably would recommend that one, they have all of their key personnel who are part of handling any parts of the agreement, um, have a comprehensive list of all of those folks, and some backups put into the overview. And then the other part would be make sure that you can explain what the agreement project is going to do for the DoD and for that service or agency that the agreement is for.
That's an excellent point. Great advice. And we do have one more question that just came in, and Rick, this might be right up your alley as well. I want to be sure Project Spectrum is free, correct?
Yes, from here, yes,
Yes, yeah. Hi,
but
sorry. Again, trying desperately to turn my camera and my microphone back on. Yeah, yes, Project Spectrum is free. As of right now, the tools, the training, the resources, they are free. The cyber advisory services are something where you may have to have a discussion because, again, those one-on-one cyber advisory services, some things are free with those and others may not be. But again, that's something that the Project Spectrum team will walk you through. I will tell you this, where a lot of people tend to get really confused about Project Spectrum. They're not going to do things for you. They're not going to write your SSP. They're not going to write your POAM. They are not going to give you the certified third-party authorization that you need in order to get CMMC level 2. They're not going to do that stuff for you. What they're there to do is give you the guidance that you need to help bolster your cybersecurity posture. You want to make sure that you're getting off on the right foot. You want to make sure that you're doing everything that you need to do in order to get that CMMC compliance. They don't issue the certification. They don't upload stuff into SPURS for you. They don't find contracts for you. So a lot of people tend to get really unnerved when they go to Project Spectrum and say, well, okay, I'm here, I signed up, now it's free, get me CMMC certified. No, 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 it doesn't work that way. You've got to put in the time and the effort. But Project Spectrum, again, the tools, the training, the resources are free. The cyber advisory services, again, there are some that are free, and then there are some that may be charged for down the road, depending on how deep you go. But the Project Spectrum team will be happy to walk you through all of that.
Awesome. Thank you, Rick. And also, do you have any examples of what the project for the DoD will do? We might need some more clarification on this question.
Okay.
You know, when you say the project for the DoD, I'm not quite following what you're asking there.
Yeah, maybe any examples of what Project Spectrum for the
Yeah,
DoD will do?
yeah, so very well might be what Project Spectrum does for DoD. Again, Project Spectrum is all about getting and maintaining CMMC compliance. So but it's not just CMMC. There's CMMC, there's NIST. You know, there are a couple of other ways that you could be compliant if CMMC is not something that's of interest to you. But it's really all about CMMC, the Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification. And again, this is something that is now going to be part of being in the defense industrial base. DoD contracts right now, they just launched this. The rule just passed that certain DoD contracts right now are requiring CMMC certification, and it's going to go through a 5-year phased rollout. And eventually by 2028, all DoD contracts, or at least the majority of them, I will say you might as well count on it being all, because they're going to go all or nothing on this, I believe, are going to require CMMC certification. You're going to be required to be certified level 1, level 2, or heaven forbid, level 3 if you're getting into that really deep stuff. So, again, what Project Spectrum tends to do is give you all of the information that you need to understand. How do I become CMMC certified? How do I get this compliance? What is it that I need to do to get it? What is it that I need to do to keep it? So again, you need to make sure that, it's all about maintaining CMMC compliance so that you can bid on DoD contracts, because you're not going to be able to win them or even bid on them if you don't have that compliance coming up in throughout this phased rollout of CMMC. But I will tell you this, one of the things that we also say during our Project Spectrum webinars is that CMMC compliance is a selling tool. This is something where if you're trying to sell yourself into the defense industrial base, or you're trying to sell yourself as a subcontractor to a prime who's in the defense industrial base, saying that you have CMMC compliance, because again, it's not certification, it's compliance, but saying that you are CMMC compliant, level 1 or level 2, that gives you an immediate edge over those companies that aren't. And that is going to give you the competitive base that you need in order to start winning those opportunities, to start winning those contracts on your own, or start winning a spot on a team with a prime.
Okay. And then I do have a follow-up to the other question that we weren't sure about. So it's Athena said what the project is going to do for DoD in terms of agreement, I believe. When Athena was speaking, it wasn't clear to me what she was trying to convey. I believe, Athena, she's referring to.
So if they're talking about, so there's a project that happens with regards to the agreement that the mentor and the protege work on. There's the developing the protege with business development, as well as knowledge, as well as the I'm looking for the word, but it's also the actual knowledge transfer that will be happening with regards to the capability or tool that's going to be produced for this particular agreement. So that's what I mean by what they will do for the DoD, because the agreement is assigned and aligned to a service or agency. And whatever, say for instance, if there is a AI capability that needs to be developed within this partnership of this mentor and protege agreement, then what is this tool or capability doing for that particular program office or for the DoD at large, whether it's on the service side or the agency side?
That makes sense.
So I hope I answered
Yeah,
what they were asking.
if we still haven't answered your question, please let me respond to your original question, and I'll follow up with you so that we can get a better understanding.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, she says, thank you. It makes sense. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. That's so far, that's all the questions that we have. Are there any others lingering out there? Okay.
I'm going to say the crickets say no.
So I will wanted to close up before before you close up, is that, the kickoff meeting is really a collaborative effort. One of both PMs on the service and agency side, as well as the MoveAmerica side. And then the other piece is with the mentor and protege participating as well, because all members have to be a part in order for the kickoff to take place. And so it is really a coordinated effort. I will say that DCMA is a integral part of the kickoff meeting, because you have to, not that you don't have to meet the expectations and the requirements for MoveAmerica and for the service and agency, but the DCMA requirements are very serious with regards to all the reporting that has to take place. So that representative has to be present at the kickoff meeting. But at the end of the day, all of us provide these briefings to one another within this kickoff. We're kicking off this great celebratory event together, and everybody leaves feeling secure and good about moving forward as a collective. And that's what MoveAmerica does best. Rick,
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, we did get one more question, which is what exactly is MoveAmerica's role? So I'm really happy to take that, because you see, MoveAmerica, yep, MoveAmerica is a national nonprofit. We are really dedicated to helping to bolster the defense industrial base, and we do that through a number of things. Whether it's helping to build consortiums, or whether it's project and program management. We act as the intermediary for the DoD OSBP Mentor-Protégé program, which means we help with all the contracting, we help with the reporting. So we're all, we're involved in that a lot. And of course, we could certainly talk more about that. But again, we're more than just the MPP intermediary. We do a lot more when it comes to helping to build the resiliency of the defense industrial base, helping to bring that technology from where it lives, which is here in the minds of entrepreneurs and small businesses, and bring it to the forefront. We're really all involved in helping the warfighter, right? We want to make sure that we give the strategic advantage where it needs to be, which is with the United States of America military. Because as our executive director, Earl Wyatt, says, I never want to be in a fair fight. I want to be in a totally unfair fight where I have the advantage. And that's exactly what we want for our military. So I will tell you that MoveAmerica does offer a lot, and we are more than happy to give you more on that. So and I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that we do on the communication side, because I have to say that's really important too. But before I do that, I want to say, to wrap this up, a huge thank you to Athena Powell for sharing her expertise today, to the entire MoveAmerica team for making this happen, and of course, want to thank every one of you for spending part of your Tuesday afternoon with us 2 days before a holiday that legally requires elastic waistbands. So again, we really appreciate it that you were here instead of out trying to power shop for cranberry sauce. Now, I have to tell you, today's webinar, it wasn't just about cybersecurity or reporting requirements or invoices. It's about something much bigger. It's about pathways to partnership. And again, that's where MoveAmerica comes in. Building relationships between mentors and proteges, building relationships between small companies and large companies, building relationships between businesses within the defense industrial base and the DoD, between where you are now and where you're trying to go. That's what we do best. So how can you keep apprised of what's going on with Move America? Well, I've got a few ways for you to do it. First of all, you want to make sure you're following us on LinkedIn. It's at MoveAmerica.org. And that's where we post updates, we post insights. We have our monthly newsletter, which is packed with resources to help you succeed in the Mentor-Protégé program or beyond. If you're not subscribed, you're really missing out. And I'm telling you, again, it's Meg. So we definitely thank her. Second, make sure you're checking out our YouTube channel. This webinar, along with all of our past webinars, is going to be posted there. So if you want to rewatch Athena's brilliance, share it with a colleague, or finally take notes on that one slide that you missed, or even critique some of the dad jokes that have been flying out of my trap today, that is the place to go. Then again, if you want to know more about Move America, our website, moveamerica.org, you can find out information there about who we are, what we do, and how we can help your business grow, because we are definitely want to make sure that we're doing that. So again, it is all about making sure that we are helping with the defense industrial base, that we are helping with the Mentor-Protégé program. We are getting all of that put together. Finally, speaking of Pathways to Partnership, that's also the name of our podcast. So if you enjoyed today's conversation, you want more insights on stuff like the Mentor-Protégé program, we have a podcast for that. Small business growth, we have a podcast for that. And strengthening America's industrial base, we have a podcast about that. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts. You can subscribe, you can share it with a colleague, leave us a review. We'd love to have you along for the ride. So again, we certainly hope that we have answered all of your questions today. We certainly hope that we've given you a lot of great information, and we're really thankful that you were with us. Again, thank you to Athena. Thank you to Meg. Thank you to our colleague Mark, who was along for the ride as well. And thank you to Project Spectrum for providing us some great information today for all of you. And again, want to say thank you to you for spending your time with us today. Until next time, I want to make sure you stay compliant, stay connected, and stay hungry. Literally, because Thanksgiving is Thursday, and you need to eat up all that turkey. It just otherwise goes to waste. Happy holidays to everyone, and we'll see you down the path. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you again next month.
If you still have questions, just shoot us an email. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to connect with us on LinkedIn for monthly newsletters and webinar updates. And check out our website for even more resources and ways to get involved. Thanks for watching.